You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Trick or treat, Lone Star Radio listeners. This is Dick, the general manager, taking this quick moment to remind you that Lone Star Community Radio is looking to fill some of our talk show slots along with some of our DJ slots. We have a new show airing on the 10th, Making Connections with Stacey Harris, which will air every second Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. Make sure to check it out along with our other programs on Lone Star Community Radio. For more information on Lone Star Community Radio, visit us online at irlonestar.com. And again, if you're interested in doing something with us, call the station 936-647-3776. Thanks for checking out this recording, and I hope you guys enjoy.
And we're going to have Skip Strauss, who's the founder of Emergency Chaplain Group. And this is an awesome organization. Basically, they provide peer-to-peer counseling for first responders in need. Our police officers and our firefighters and our EMTs, you know, they see bad stuff every day and they take it home with them. And that stuff can rack up on them pretty bad. And who do you talk to? And there's always an issue that if you go through channels, it goes in your jacket, goes on your record, it may come back to bite you later. But Emergency Chaplain Group is there as a on-site or after-the-fact counseling. These guys really rock, and they have an event coming up. So I'm looking forward to talking to Skip Strauss. The dude's got an excellent story. You're going to want to tune into that one at 10:15. We chose our bumper music today. You know, new listeners may not know, but every day Dick and I put our heads together, metaphorically, sometimes literally, and come up with our bumper music. And today we decided to go with Viva Las Vegas because I'm so excited to announce that through the diligence of the media and their hard-hitting questions and their priorities, they were able to get solid answers to their hard-hitting questions about the Vegas shooter and his motivations. Actually, the exact opposite. There is total silence from the media about this. And Dick and I may joke around about AAA and our conspiracy theories, but I got to say, this is something smelling rotten in the state of Nevada about this.
Oh, yeah.
Media is not asking a single word. Where, you know, the top of the searches are now the lawyers who are coming in to represent survivors or people who will eventually have been found out to have been 10 casinos down, but they're still claiming PTSD and they want a piece of the pie. Nothing new about the shooter, his motivations in a town where literally pretty much every inch is covered by cameras. And a concert with 20,000 people equaling about 20,000 cell phones and no clear, cohesive message, story, timeline, everything's up in the air. Do we even know where the security guard is now, Dick?
I don't know if they even found him.
Is he still MIA? So whereas I'm not a fan of frivolous civil suits, I am a fan of the ones that are going to be filed here because, as I said, that'll force the evidence to come to the limelight and we can get some answers finally. But that being said, Dick, over the weekend, I happened to have the TV on and it's all commercial for Vegas. You know how it's always been what happens in Vegas, you know, very, very humorous. And I finally saw how they've decided to handle this. And I'm presuming it's the same marketing company, the same PR or ad company, because they use the same logo and the same font. And that's part of the branding of a particular ad agency. But it was, I think it was really nicely done. It was a series of photos, you know, selfies and tweet photos and Facebook photos of people in and around Vegas or planning for Vegas with tweets and Facebook posts, you know, in the text, just saying, we're coming, we come every year, we're coming this year, nothing's going to keep us away, you guys rock. And, you know, there's schmaltzy music playing underneath it. They have to tug at the heartstrings, but then just simply Vegas strong. And I got to tip my hat to whoever came up with that concept because it worked. How can you promote your city after this without A, apologizing for it, or B, inadvertently claiming responsibility for the legal issues? You know, you can't have a commercial saying, we're sorry this went down. That admits culpability, and all of a sudden you're on the defense list. So I say Viva Las Vegas all the way. My most recent marriage, we eloped to Vegas, 22 hours, hopped on a flight, did our thing, and I want to go back. So I got some memories there already, and I want to get some more going.
Well, we're going to continue following the story as the week progresses and see if anything. Do you think anything will come out this week?
Man, Dick, that's a mental coin toss for me. I think it will take someone asking a hard-hitting question like, what the heck is going on? Why is there nothing? Until then, probably more stories about the victims, the survivors who have suddenly passed, or those who were expected to die suddenly waking up, or the woman who survived the shooting but lost her house in the wildfire. There is a danger of this kind of going away until the civil suits come up. But we will definitely be doing our follow-up.
And so for the rest of the show, we have somebody going to be on next segment. Let's do a little recap of that. Who's going to be in?
Skip Strauss. He is a firefighter. This dude is really awesome. He during 9/11, he actually went out to Ground Zero for 6 weeks and was boots on the ground providing counseling for the men and women who went through as close to hell on earth as you can get, and has this organization called Emergency Chaplain Group. And they have an event coming up, and he's going to talk about the history of Emergency Chaplain Group, the event coming up, and just kind of the history, the services about these everyday heroes that can't help but take the job home with them and how they can get past it.
Well, cool. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll get Skip on the air with us. Skip and Dickie, or Skippy and Dickie.
Skippy, Dick, and...
Morning's Lone Star.
This is going to be a mouthful.
You're listening to IRLoneStar.com, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. It is 10:09. We have our talk box starting now with us all the way till 11. So stick around and enjoy some sponsors.
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
Mornings with Lone Star with Dick and Skippy. This is Skippy, Dick's the other one. And we're adding yet another mix into the studio here. We got Skip in the studio, so their name tags can be passed around. You got Dick, you got Skippy, and you got Skip. And I just got to admit that when Dick and I were working on the show in the early days, we were wondering if I should go from Skippy to Skip for the 10 o'clock block since we get more serious. And I said no, because that name's already taken. And I cannot step on that name. But who we have in the studio with us right now is Skip Strauss. He's the founder of Emergency Chaplain Group. Morning, Skip.
Good morning, sir.
How's it going?
Living the dream in paradise,
So I've been kind of talking you up to the audiences beforehand, but let me just kind of give people a recap in case they're just now tuning in. So Skip is a longtime firefighter, and he's the founder of this organization called Emergency Chaplain Group. Also under the name of Emergency Ministries, I believe, a 501c3 organization. And what they do is our first responders, the law enforcement, the firefighters, the dispatchers, the ambulance drivers, the paramedics, the people who every day go out and put themselves in situations or find themselves in situations that everyday people just shouldn't be in. They're on the scene. They're doing what needs to be done. As people are running out of a burning building, they're running in. As people are running away from gunfire, they're running to it. As everyone else is watching the car wreck, they're the ones getting through it to get to the people. And these heroes are men and women. They're human, and they take the stuff home with them. They can't help but. and this can wear on them. So, Skip, tell me about why you formed it. The genesis of Emergency Chaplain Group.
Okay, you mentioned I was a firefighter. I was a volunteer firefighter for a long time, but I was full time as a paramedic. I worked EMS primarily, and about December will be 19 years ago that I founded Emergency Ministries, and it was because of stuff you just mentioned. First responders see stuff, and by the way, smell stuff and hear stuff.
Right.
That the rest of the general public doesn't need to, and you do take it home. There's calls that I've heard it said a couple of ways, but I like the saying that says, "I wish my mind could forget what my eyes have seen," and that's what it's like out there in the streets. I tell people, picture yourself as your first day on the job as a young firefighter. And the tones go off in the station. Your adrenaline starts pumping. You load up in the back of the pumper. You arrive on scene of a motor vehicle accident, and there's a dead child in this crashed, rolled over car. And not only do you have to see if you can get in there to help, only to realize that the child is not going to be saved, you also have to wait on scene and help load those remains for the medical examiner. Now, picture that. And you might see that 2 or 3 times a month where you have to deal with a dead child. May be tolerable, if you will, to the 18-year-old firefighter. But let's fast forward 5 years now. He's been on the job 5 years. And now he's got a 2-year-old at home. And he rolls on the same type of accident. And it's a 2-year-old. Very often we'll hear from our first responders that, I saw my child's face on that child. That's the reality of what first responders deal with every time they go to work.
And so the services you provide are what's called peer-to-peer counseling, meaning your people providing counseling, they wear the badge. They're in it themselves. This is not academic to them. They've
Right.
walk the same streets.
Right. It's kind of what makes us unique from other chaplain organizations is that we require all our chaplains to have worn a badge, police, fire, or EMS, so they know. And that's really, the difference between sympathizing and empathizing, isn't it? And it also provides almost an instant trust factor as we sit across the chair from the first responder when we're talking to them. So we do not just peer-to-peer stuff. We also do things like marriage counseling, staggering divorce rates in public safety. We do post-traumatic stress work with these guys. Anything we can do to keep them healthy and on the job.
Well, I think on Facebook, what was going around a couple of months ago was, I think it was called the 22 challenge, and they say because a veteran commits suicide every 22 minutes. And so these memes started popping out where I'm going to do 22 push-ups a day. And to me, I call that a hashtag protest, meaning, okay, I've done push-ups. That hasn't solved anything. So I know it's a tough topic, but I mean, some of these men and women, this can rack up on them. If you're not there, they may decide to take matters in their own hands to end the pain.
Right. You're right. The stats are from the military is 22 veterans a day.
Mm-hmm.
Right, committing suicide, and we honestly don't know what that figure is in public safety. It's very difficult to track. The Firefighter Behavioral Health Alliance, a guy named Jeff Dill, is single-handedly trying to take on fire and EMS suicide reporting. We feel in the industry that the number for first responders probably is equal or greater than military veterans. And keep this in mind, about 30% of police officers and 40% of firefighters are returning veterans.
So it's adding to something that could already be there.
Could already be there.
Wow.
So we're trying to nip that suicide statistic in the bud as well. We teach at 4 different fire academies right now, suicide prevention, critical incident stress mitigation, and what they're going to see on the job and deal with the realities of it. We're also assisting with, I'm one of the 10 authors of the Yellow Ribbon Report on mental health in the fire service, and we're trying to roll that out with the express desire to reduce that number of suicides in the fire service.
Wow, that's great. And beyond just everyday walking the walk, not just talking the talk, but, full disclosure, people, I know Skip. I've had meetings with Skip, and I've been in a meeting with him where his phone goes off, and I don't want to say like code red or anything like that, but I'm like the least important person in that room all of a sudden because something's gone down and Skip is on the phone getting people to locations, the scene of an accident or an incident, and I've seen it in action, and it's just staggering. And so to help them with this, every year for the 6th year now coming up, they have a fundraising gala called Hope for Heroes, and it's an awesome gala. Tell me about this year's gala.
Now, this year, this is our 6th annual, like you said. This is going to be at the Marriott Waterway Hotel and Convention Center. This will be our 3rd year there. Last year, we sold out at 500 folks, and we're going to do that again this year.
Awesome.
We're getting real close again to selling out this year. New for you this year is our keynote. If you were there last year, you got to enjoy the entertainment of a internationally known comedian, guy named David Nastor, who has actually written 2 books on using humor for PTSD. Mm-hmm. David was awesome and was a good draw for us. This year, we've got a guy named Kevin Davis, and Kevin is a Canadian firefighter paramedic. He's also a singer-songwriter, and in February, I believe it was, of this year, he came out with a music video called When Those Sirens Are Gone, and it's a song that he wrote about his own personal struggles with PTSD. And so he is going to be our keynote speaker, and you might even hear him sing that song live.
He may just pull out a guitar
and
just
pull
it
out. You never know.
You won't know unless you buy your tickets to this. This is going to be a great event. So this is happening on Saturday, November 4th.
That's right. Our first time ever on a Saturday.
Right. Yeah, memory serves. I think last year was like a Thursday evening and something, and almost past my bedtime, but still a lot of fun. Yeah. But yes, this is going to be on Saturday, November 4th. I think we're going to take a break in a second, but we're going to come back to Skip and talk some more about the Emergency Chaplain Group, the upcoming Hope for Heroes Gala, and of course, some more about Skip himself. Skip himself. I need more Conroe coffee, I'll tell you that. This is Skippy right now, talking to Skip.
And Dick, sorry.
It's that button on your love, Dick.
Yeah, no, I always accidentally hit it. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick sponsored break. And special thanks to our sponsors, Conroe Coffee, and of course, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning in Montgomery County. We'll be back.
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
Viva Lone Star Radio, your Mornings with Lone Star, the nitty gritty talk block with Dick and Skippy and Skip. We also have the silent person sitting to my right, Lori Clifton of Clifton Consulting. She just doesn't want to strap on a headset, so we're going to kind of ignore her best we can. But yeah, is that a thumbs up? Nope, that's the other finger. Never mind. Moving on. moving on back to Skip here. So we're talking with Skip Strauss, who's the founder of Emergency Chaplain Group, also known as Emergency Ministries. It's a nonprofit organization that offers counseling to first responders, law enforcement, dispatchers, paramedics, ambulance drivers, firefighters, who see the bad stuff and they got to deal with it. And Skip, I feel that sometimes people, it's hard enough for a certain type of person to ask for help, but also if it could affect their career. You know, you go through the channels and it suddenly ends up in your dossier, your portfolio. Can you mind me kind of bring that up, like how Emergency Chaplain Group can help with that?
Sure. Because we're a third party, we do not report back to any chain of command. It's everything that these guys do with us, these guys and gals, is confidential.
That's great to hear. Because there really should. I mean, it's sad that that has to be there, but I'm so glad that it is. Now we're talking with Skip. Now, Skip, as I said earlier, Emergency Chaplain Group, you know, they walk the walk as well as talk the talk. So does Skip. The history of Skip Strauss is that when 9/11 hit, he was like on the first flight out to New York, and he was boots on the ground for what, 5-6 weeks?
5 weeks. Yeah.
5 weeks, providing some services, like under no official capacities. Like, what can I do to help? And was that the genesis of Emergency Chaplain Group, what it is today?
No, actually, it made me who I am today as a chaplain. Certainly, I got 50 years of counseling experience in 5 weeks. But we had actually founded the ministry about a year and a half prior, and how it evolved. We had you couldn't just show up at a scene. You never do that. So we had been contacting or trying to contact the chaplain's office at FDNY, the Fire Department of New York, with no luck. Left messages or got a busy signal. So I got an email from a retired paramedic who put me in touch with the paramedic supervisor on Manhattan. And she said, yeah, we can use you if you can get up here. Make a long story short, we went up on day 6, which was the first flight I could get out of Houston. And FDNY chaplain finally caught up with me on Tuesday. And by that evening, I was down at ground zero. Ended up getting assigned to 1st Battalion of the FDNY and worked the pile, working with the crews that were primarily doing recovery of human remains.
Skip, nowadays as long-term effects are settling in, a lot of people who are there at ground zero are experiencing, ramifications of that to their health and lives and stuff. Any regrets spending the time there?
They told us that we probably shaved 10 years off our life by going up there, and I'd do it again in a heartbeat, no hesitation whatsoever.
I believe that 100%.
I am part now of the World Trade Center Health Registry and Health Program. In fact, tomorrow I go for a complete physical workup and all that stuff. So they're monitoring us.
Well, I know where I'm going to be sending my warm, fuzzy thoughts tomorrow then.
Thank you, brother.
So let's talk about the gala again coming up, because this is really cool. This Hope for Heroes. This is an awesome event. This is not just a little barbecue cookout thing. I mean, we got some luminaries showing up. There have been some big names, both in the audience and on the stage. I know previous guests have included the female military police officer who took down the Fort Hood shooter and herself was shot.
Right, Sergeant Kim Munley, yeah.
I remember listening to her, and she's like this little bitty thing. It just cracked me up. I was thinking of G.I. Jane, and I saw, someone who's probably 5'2" if she's an inch tall.
She's that's why they call her. Her nickname is Mighty Mouse.
I remember that. So at the gala, Kevin Davison, who is as Skip said earlier, a Canadian paramedic and singer-songwriter who wrote the song called "When These Sirens Are Gone." Maybe we'll be able to play it later on in the show, or at least a snippet of it. He's going to be the keynote speaker. And this event is going to have, obviously, dinner and discussions and, speeches. Any kind of auctions going on, too?
Oh, absolutely. Silent and live auctions are going on. We've got our first ever raffle that we're doing. We're selling tickets for that right now.
Cool.
And a lot of fun stuff, some surprises coming up.
Ooh, I love a good surprise. Now, putting something like this on, obviously you got to get some names behind you on that to build it up. You got any sponsors on this group here?
Absolutely, we sure do. Our top sponsor right now is Sterling McCall VIP Services, which is Group 1 Automotive. Owns multiple dealerships across the nation, and we're so happy. This is the second year that they've been a key sponsor. We've also got some other big names: Planet Ford, Sid and Martin Fire Apparatus, Gringo's Restaurants, Wild Well Control, Basula Development, and Auto Lab of Texas, to name a few. We've got Sports Clips as a huge in-kind donor. They're providing over 500 haircuts for our first responders.
Get out of here. That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And then Kendra Scott. Yeah,
right. The jewelry place, right?
Right. I didn't know it, but apparently every woman in the world knows it.
My wife knows it, trust me.
Yeah, well, Kendra Scott, I'll just say it this way: huge surprise, and you got to come to the gala to see what she's doing for the ministry.
Ooh, I am so if you want other people to be there, let's tell them how they're going to get there. You can go to mchap.org, and that's short for Emergency Chaplains Group, so emchap.org. There's also a really cool number here, 855-4-MCHAP. It's 436-2427. And but just remember mchap.org, or log on to our site and our Facebook page, and we'll have the information on that. Any other ways people can get in touch with you, or what you're looking for between now and the 4th when this goes down?
We still have some time for some sponsors to come on board with us, and we're certainly looking for folks to get their tickets and get them quick before we do sell out.
That sounds great. I've been to this event before. It is truly awesome. I'm going to love the heck out of being there this year. I want to hear Kevin Davison, what he has to say, and just be part of a really worthy cause. So again, mchap.org. Find out about them, or call 855-4-MCHAP. And if he's not too busy, ask to talk to Skip. You'll get a great story from a great guy on that.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you so much for coming in and letting us know what's going on. I know you're going to be returning to us on Friday, and maybe I will be doing the interview this time.
I don't know, man. I like hijacking this one. This is good.
So.
But, we're going to talk about some. Yeah, we'll talk about some topics here, because I know we've been talking off the air about Harvey recovery and Vegas recovery. So Friday,
sure,
come back in. Let's talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good time. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, sir.
Skip, awesome.
You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio, Mornings with Lone Star. We're going to take a quick break. It is 10:31, and we still got about half an hour left in today's show. So we'll see you after this sponsored break.
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
We're back.
That's a true statement.
Yeah, this is true. No one's accused us of being boring yet, but
So far, so good.
I just love how you ended that one. Make you bored.
Yeah.
People, believe it or not, that was only one take. It only took us
We were that good.
We were so good with that. Make you laugh, make you bored. But we were talking to Skip Strauss. This is a really awesome guy. I mean, truly, I've known this guy for a couple of years now. And his story, I mean, when you just hear as 9/11's happening, he's tuning in, watching it, and he's already on the phone to FDNY, knowing what's around the corner. And 5 weeks on ground zero doing his thing. So yeah, think about going to the Hope for Heroes Gala, get some food, get some drink, get some goodies, and do a good cause. We can move on to other topics now. Yeah, I know.
So there was a Florida man was arrested for meth, and turns out it wasn't meth; it was donut crumbs, and they awarded him $37,000 after all the mistreatment. So I read that this morning.
You know, I have every time those little donuts with the white powder. I'm just like so addicted to those, and I look like a coke fiend after that. So, with luck, I'll get pulled over myself after eating some of these donuts, and I can walk away with some cash too. But
well, I mean,
to
to give you a background, I know it sounds kind of a weird statement. Basically, this little corner gas station has been being monitored by police for drug problems, basically drug trafficking, drug selling, drug whatever.
Okay.
And this guy got pulled over speeding out of the 7-Eleven parking lot, which, I mean, I don't know how you speed out unless you have, like, a Porsche or something. And basically, when he got pulled over, the cop said that you have rocky white substance on the floorboard of your car. And he's like, no, that's not drugs. That's donut glazed crumbs. And they said it was crack cocaine, and then they said it was crystal meth. And then they did roadside drug tests, which apparently the officer has not been trained properly to use, and so 2 of them turned up positive for cocaine. And this is what's scary about this. So at that moment, he gets arrested and he gets processed because the road test proved positive for cocaine. And then finally, when the actual lab test came back, it was crumbs from a glazed donut. He sued the city over the incident, and that's the city of Orlando agreed to pay him $37,000 for wrongful arrest. So at least that was a good follow-up. I wanted to talk about that because, we always talk about the police, and you never know what's going to happen at the end of the things like this.
Mm-hmm.
And
obviously, they said, okay, mistakes were made, and we own up to it. Here's another cop story I want to talk about. In North Texas, some cops went into a Whataburger and were refused service by the cashier server, the lady that took the order, who yelled, cursed, said her boyfriend had been beaten up in a traffic stop. And I think how the police handled this one was pretty good. The chief put out a message to Whataburger saying, hey, we're used to getting blamed and yelled and stuff. And by the way, here's the footage to see that this guy, nothing happened to this guy. But if you don't want us here, just say so. We'll go somewhere else. And it's sad where police chief has to say, we're used to this. The woman, of course, has naturally been let go of her position. Dick, what I'm finding lately is that people are mistaking personal grudges for proper protest, in the sense that, I think the message that got lost on both sides, on the right and the left, with the NFL taking a knee thing, is absolutely every player has the right to take a knee in silent protest. However, you're not covered by the First Amendment, meaning anyone says, well, I have a First Amendment right to that. No, you're in a workplace environment. You're on the job, and your job is to play a football game, preferably to win the football game. That is your only job. And they took that, there was a rule against it. So put it in an office environment or a Whataburger. If Whataburger says you must wear the uniform, you must greet a customer, and you must serve them what they order, you refusing to do that is not a protest. That is breaking the contract of your employment, and you're open to termination. Same thing with Colin Kaepernick. This is kind of cracking me up, Dick. He is now accusing all the NFL owners of collusion. And as I said earlier, I would just love for people to call it right in and tell me what you think collusion means, because I guarantee you only about 4% of Americans even knew the word before the media decided to use it in the Russian-Trump collusion thing. And now Kaepernick is saying there's collusion between all the...
Well, it's funny. I wanted to tell you this between the first time you said that. Apparently, the NFL is exempt from collusion laws because they're not a monopoly.
There you go.
And another reason being is the way they did their agreement with the players' union is basically it says they're both sides are allowed to collude, depending on the scenario, because collusion can be beneficial, and if it's legal, it's very beneficial, especially if you're in a union. and or a players union. So, but it can go both ways though. So
Dick,
that's-
are you intimating that Colin Kaepernick is undergoing a desperate attempt to remain relevant?
I mean, I don't really know. If anything, it's like those lawyers for the Las Vegas deal. It's probably someone called them and says, "Hey, we can get you at least some money or something." And then, unless there's a smoking gun.
Now, don't get me wrong. Is again, everyone hates civil defense lawyers until they need one, or criminal defense lawyers, or what have you. There is a call for civil legal remedies in a situation, and I absolutely get that. But there's something called tort reform, and that just means reining it in, getting rid of frivolous lawsuits, and so there is a difference. But Kaepernick,
Well, what's interesting about him, and I wish some people would actually do, if there's any reporting, is really what it came down to, from what I understand, he didn't want to sign on to any contract because he wasn't getting paid enough. Because it wasn't, from what I understood, it wasn't like they just cut him and sayonara. They cut him because he was, the cap was going to hit at the end of the year, and then someone could have picked him up for X amount of dollars.
right?
So to give you a nice idea, like probably one of the best redeemed stories, not the best, it's kind of fun, say as a joke, is that Michael Vick. Well, Michael Vick used to be a star athlete, and then he got in trouble for whatever he was doing with his dogs, and then he went back to playing, 6 years later, 5 years later. Now, the reason he went back to playing is probably because he was getting paid nothing compared to a quarterback of his status. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he was willing to take the pay cut. So that's why a question about Kaepernick was, before he started this whole protest thing, do you think he just flat out started saying, "Hey, I'm worth this much money minimum, give it to me, or I'm not going to accept any contract"?
Yeah, we got to look at it, and I wish Jake were in the studio right now because I'm sure he'd have these facts and figures at his fingertips. And that was a great use of alliteration by Skippy. I'm just pointing that out. But from what I'm hearing, Kaepernick was not that awesome of a player to begin with. He was mediocre at best, and again, in the world of sports, you can have a good game, you can have a bad game, but there are general trends. And if he's intimating that he was let go because of his taking a knee or his protest, first off, there's no collusion. You broke the NFL rules. It's a workplace rule. You have to pay the consequence for that. Secondly, if no one wants to pick you up, and I'm sorry, in American sports, much like the American arts world, Roman Polanski still gets standing ovations, and Michael Vick gets rehired. Believe me, if someone wanted him bad enough, if they thought he was good enough to play, they'd pay for him. So it'll be interesting to see the Kaepernick conundrum continue. Wow, I'm all about the alliteration today. Did you see that? Kaepernick conundrum continue.
But what's funny is I wonder what's going to happen at the end of this deal, because the protest stuff is still going on. Not even in football and soccer in Germany, they had a team, the Berlin team took a knee, but they don't really do the national anthem, so it was just more of I don't know what they're really doing because they don't do the national anthem over there in Germany.
Gee, you think the first people to take a knee would be the French? Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Okay, they surrender easily. I just thought I'd throw that out there, a little bit of world history.
But it'll be interesting to see in the sports world, especially with the playoffs happening with baseball, and because you haven't really seen anything in baseball. You notice that?
Right, well...
And also in Major League Soccer, the Dynamo are going to the playoffs.
I think they're realizing, okay, we're going to get hurt as a franchise. Plus, I think the novelty of this is wearing off. And if you notice, more beforehand, before this started going down, the networks didn't show the anthem unless it was like a huge game and they had Whitney Houston singing it. Now with the protests happening, they were all about showing it in the name of, oh no, this is, we got to show the whole thing. And now that there's grief and it's not going the way they want, all of a sudden they're taking it off again. So this is just I would love to see this in 5 or 10 years down the line, kind of the looking back and the breakdown of what happened, what went wrong. It's like, as I said earlier, one of my earliest memories was Vietnam, my father being in Vietnam and coming home. And at the time, you can never get a straight answer on anything. It's too close to it. Now, looking back, we can say, well, this went wrong and that went wrong. I cannot wait to see, hopefully I'm alive long enough to see how near history paints this one.
Yeah, it's going to be certainly interesting. It's 10:43 here on Mornings of the Lone Star. We're going to be taking a quick sponsored break. Special thanks to Conroe Coffee and, of course, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Thanks for joining us. We still got about a couple more segments until 11 o'clock, so stick around.
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
Mornings with Lone Star with Dick and Skippy, back by ourselves again.
Yay!
Skip's not in the studio anymore. Jake's not here. It's just the two of us. Let the mayhem and hijinks begin. A few minutes ago, I was talking about Kaepernick having a desperate attempt to stay relevant. Speaking of desperate attempts to stay relevant, Hillary Clinton was on British TV recently, and I'm paraphrasing, but pretty accurately, she was carping on about about Weinstein, how men in power is just beyond the pale. It's just disgusting how a man in power would use his position of authority to overwhelm, in a sexual way, a lesser woman, in the sense that, obviously not a female president, but, someone in a position underneath that person. And golly, I cannot believe that the interviewer did not say, "Oh, you mean like your husband?"
Well, that's one thing I don't really. A lot of people don't forget, and especially as the age of technology is improving, when we can easily pull up stuff, and it's just funny that no one has told her, like, just stay at home, don't talk about this topic. Like, that's what hurt you after Bill Clinton. Like, that's what really hurt you politically. That's why Barack Obama won the primary.
I thought it was the vast right-wing conspiracy.
And in 2008, and I was like, and that's, people just don't see you like that. And it's, I don't know. It's funny that people like to bring it up, though. Like, you notice it, you follow wherever that, I didn't really see anything big after she lost. The only thing I saw that her book came out, and it was just kind of a joke. That's the only thing I really saw. I
think it was on the bestseller list for like 6 hours. And because you're hearing there's this person's fault, is that person's fault, is this country's fault, is that, after a while, it doesn't matter. You lost, you came in second. It's like, do they give the microphone to the losing team at the Super Bowl or another game and let them give all the reasons why they lost? No. I do also find it funny that over Facebook, on a serious note, I'm half heartened by the courage, but also half just despondent over the sheer number of females that are doing that thing on Facebook where they say "Me Too," and the directive is if you've been sexually harassed or assaulted or something, to drive it home. That's a big thing. But I'm seeing on Facebook how Weinstein's name is almost never mentioned now, but more and more it's about, they've made this about Trump somehow. And
that's usually how the news the narrative is always like that.
And it staggers me. My opinions are out there for the world to see, and I think as a president, there are things you don't do, and then you don't roll up your sleeves, you don't host beer summits, you don't tweet every day, and you don't be a pig, and that goes for both parties. I am equal opportunity when I say what a president should and shouldn't be. But Harvey Weinstein is the guy, and with how readily he's been fired by his own brother, and his company names being changed, and him being banned from or removed from the Motion Picture Arts Association. I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. I really think there are some serious charges about to be dropped on him, and that's why people are distancing themselves now. And I am also distressed at the sheer number of men and women in power who's like, oh, we knew about it, we just didn't want to say anything about it. It wasn't the right thing to do. It's I applaud the courage to come forth now, but NBC is now on the hook, NBC television, because they had a story ready to go. This is beyond the Washington Post 2004 story that a female reporter was going to break, and Weinstein and company started calling the editors, and that story was buried. But there's actually a NBC News report where they actually had a woman ready to go on the record and on air to say she had been assaulted, if not raped, by Weinstein, and the story was killed. So people look up collusion in the dictionary and then point it at the media covering Weinstein. And there's pretty much your only, in my opinion, sense of collusion that's going on. Colin and Russia and Hillary Clinton, I'm sorry, you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. And that's my rant on 3 different topics.
Well, we're going to continue raining tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
We're going to be back. Coming up next here on Lone Star Community Radio, Mornings with Lone Star. We are going to be having a lot of fun playing music and stuff at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So send your song requests to us at 936-647-3776.
Please help us expand our song library. I'm starting to sing along to these country tunes, and that goes against my DNA.
I got a lot of music over the weekend.
I bet you do.
But coming up next, this is a weekly business hour here on Lone Star Community Radio. It's going to be a replay. Rick's going to be out for a couple weeks. But after that, will be a live show of Conroe Culture with Margie Taylor and, of course, Nerd Thug Radio all the way till 3 p.m. to
nice.
Rick, the Reluctant Cowboy. In fact, did you know on Thursday or Friday, I guess, is opening weekend for Young Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Check that out.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein, and across the way, also Dial In for Murder. So
Yeah.
you got funny horror or horror horror.
Funny horror and horror.
Yeah, that's one of those
like
words
it.
that's really hard to say.
I like it. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Special thanks to our show sponsors for this episode of Mornings with Lone Star. That is Clean Sweep Office Cleaning in Montgomery County and also Conroe Coffee. I enjoyed this weekend. I hope you had a chance to come out to the Catfish Festival, folks. We'll be returning next year. And more stuff's coming up till December in Montgomery County. We'll keep an eye on it. And it's 10:52 again. Stick around. We got the weekly business hour coming up next.
Viva Las Vegas with your neon flashing and your one-arm band.
Thanks for checking out this podcast of Lone Star Community Radio, Montgomery County's community radio station. If you enjoyed this recording, make sure to check out our past shows online at irlonestar.com or their respective video or podcast formats on YouTube, Google Play, or iTunes. If you have any questions regarding the show, either it being about sponsorships or questions for the host, contact the station manager at dick@irlonestar.com or call the station at 936-647-3776. This show is recorded in downtown Conroe, Texas at the Lone Star Community Radio Studios, and Lone Star Community Radio reserves all rights to this recording and images.